Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Super Rugby Pacific. This one, the Waratahs taking on the Blues. Now, this is a home game for the Tars, a side that have already had one of the bigger upsets of this year's competition, taking down the Crusaders in the Super Round. Now they want to take down another top contender side in the Blues. Looking through at the starting lineup. First of all, for the Waratahs, they will be as follows in the front row: Hayden, Thompson, Stringer, Heaven will be there at number 2, and Johnson Holmes starting in as the number 3. Holloway and Fergusley, Warner as the locks. Hannigan, Gamble and Gleeson, the loose forward trio. I hear they're already starting the countdown, so we're running a little bit behind. But Gordon, Edmund, the 19 combo, Peach, Walton, Parisi, Tristan Riley and Mark Nwanganita Wasi slotting in as number 15. But the game is kicked off. The Waratahs are in pink, the Blues are in white, and we will quickly look through at the Blues starting lineup here. In the starting front row will be Tuanga Fasi, Eklund and Marcel Renata. McWennell and Berry will be the 2 locks. Peter Feta back in the pocket has booted that ball into touch. He's bought us a bit of time, as there is now going to be a line out. Akira Ioane, Dalton Papali and Hoskins Atutu will be the loose forward trio. Atutu coming off the bench last week rather than starting, now gets himself back in their number 8 jersey. Finley Christie and Stephen Peter Feta as the 9-10 combo. Caleb Clark, Bryce Heem, Rico Ioane back into the centres with Mark Dallaire and Zahn Sullivan, the last 2 for the Blues. Now the line-out has taken place. The Waratahs in possession, and good attack and run from Joey Walton. Now the ball is loose, and Akira Ioane has been able to pick it up for the Blues, who are now back in position just outside of their 22-metre line. Now back across to the right-hand side. Rico Ioane finds himself in a bit of open space. Langy Gleeson tries to drag him down. Doesn't find the offload in the end, though. And the ball is available for Gamble. Got it from the side. Edmund, man on the outside. Dylan Peach showing his pace and just gets the offload away to Gamble, but his foot was in touch, says the referee. This game started with a bit of a quick-fire bang, ladies and gents. Now, what's up with those jerseys? They're interesting. So the Waratahs, because the blue that their kit is clashes with the Blues blue, they've decided that they can't wear the blue, even though the Blues away kit doesn't really look the same, but there's the rules. So yeah, they're wearing the Waratahs pink kit for this contest. Our ball being thrown in, nicely taken by Jed Holloway. Jake Gordon goes to Tane Edmed in the midfield. As Parisi gets away to Langy Gleeson. He was scoring for sure if his feet did not give out from underneath him. And now the Blues have got themselves the penalty. We have got Blues will win, says William. And also we have got their, I don't know who's going to win this game. I've got the Blues as favourites with a strong forward pack and strike power right through the back line. Every now and then, though, the Waratahs pull off an upset, and they have already done so throughout this year's Super Rugby competition. I think Rico Ioane might have knocked himself out there. Yeah, tried to make the tackle on Langy Gleeson, ate an elbow. Those aren't really soft normally. So I think they're going to have to make sure that he's all right to continue. But I think he was seeing stars. Yeah, he was. He was trying to become a Dolphin, Rico Ioane. Fun fact, he's not one. He's a centre. Or is he a winger? No one really knows because Fozzie changed it. We have got the IO, says Brandon, welcome in. Aided himself in Ngannou, says Hanoi. Yeah, hopefully he is all right, Rico Ioane. It looks like he's still getting explained to him where he's playing from the medic. So Harry Plummer, he doesn't look too flash at the moment. They've just said there's a chance that it may not even be an HIA. It might just be a straight KO for Rico Ioane. We guess, oh, yeah, that's ugly. And just knocked out. And, yeah, he was sleeping before he hit the ground. The thing is, it's a bit weird. They had Anton Leonard-Brown get knocked out last game. The New Zealand, I don't know if this is New Zealand-Australia thing, but the New Zealand coverage did not show the replay. We were first game in Australia, and they're showing slow-mos of it happening, showing him getting knocked out. So, yeah, not good for Rico Ioane. I don't think he'll be continuing Eden Park support. Says Tio there, and love this pink kit from the Tars. Says Xavier. One of them matching it with the pink tights underneath. I think that's Harry Johnson Holmes. This contest, rolling ball for the Blues. And we have also got the back Kemi for all 4 in police custody. We on yet? Says Spider Mick. And he's in Rico land. Lucky he only see 5 stars. Maybe it's the culture of league replays for everything. Yeah, it could be, in terms of the difference between the coverage of Australia and New Zealand. So I think we were talking about it. Oh, that's a knock on from Josh Beattie. Has put that one down. And now the ball is available for the Waratahs. Their counter-attack. Fergus Lee Warner gets his pass away to Isaiah Parisi. Gordon goes to the right-hand side. And the knock-on advantage is over. Another big run from Fergus Lee Warner. Had a huge amount of carries in his last season of Super Rugby Pacific. Back across to the left, Dylan Peach, I should say. Who's Jordan Peach? Is that a real person, or have I just made that name up? Oh, ripped away by Kiriwani. The penalty does go the way of the Tars. Ariko could miss Crusaders next week. There is a high possibility that he does. Mainly because, normally when you get knocked out, HIAs, if you fail them, you're normally out 2 weeks. That seems to be the ruling. But, yeah, I'm not hopeful for him to play next week after the knock that he did take. Oh, that kick's going into touch around the 22. Probably not as many metres as they would have liked. Then Kikeriwani came from an offside position. Then he ripped the ball away to make it worse. Just got the timing completely wrong. A line out throw for Julian Heaven. Let's go in. Charlie Gamble now. Flat ball, close to 4, but right in front of the ref. He says play on. Another step from Gordon. Taken down by Dalton Papali, who got his hands on the ball, and he wins the turnover penalty. Such a dangerous jackler in that number 7 jersey, and there's been quite a few 7s who are in great form at the moment in Super Rugby, whether that's Billy Harmon, whether that's Dalton Papali. So in the last game, Lachlan Boshier got himself 2 tries. Warriors down already. That doesn't surprise me. It's normally what happens in the last 10 minutes, though, for the Warriors determines whether they win or lose. But yeah, it might be a tough game. Straight away, Dalton Papali almost, as soon as he hits the ground, goes to that turnover and gets it successfully. Line out throw for Kurt Eklund on the halfway line. It's going to be floating and almost stolen by the Tars, but Tutu cleans it up. Now Papali'i drives at Charlie Gamble. Back across to the left-hand side. Good shot coming in again. Christie going off to Satutu, Zahn Sullivan. Moment for the Blues is just about building phase play. The Waratahs knocking that ball on in the breakdown. Eklund now crawling forward, no one on him. Now Sullivan goes to the kick behind. Harry Plummer having a chase after this one, but it looks like Caleb Clark is going to be the first one there, alongside Mark Nawanga-Nitawasi, who's gone for the kick back inland. And now Talia, 22 metres out from the line, taken down by Dylan Peach. Hamish back, I want to ask, can I join your live stream for half time, says Brandon. Probably we can't. At this stage, that one's gone over the top. And it's going to be now the line out for the Waratahs. About 7 minutes in at the moment. Both sides starting this game at a quick pace, but neither have been able to turn their attacking into tries as of yet. Mark Nawanga-Nitawasi, we got to see him get his first touch just before. 7 minutes in at the moment, still plenty of time remaining. We saw a back and forth encounter between the Chiefs and the Crusaders. The Chiefs and the Fijian Drua, I should say. Now Ned Hannigan takes it nicely. Jay Gordon, massive gap opens up. Almost able to carve his way straight through, but he makes an extra 15 metres or so in the process. Jed Holloway goes away to Langy Gleeson. Now Jake Gordon rolling this ball back again. Has gone high, chasing after this one. Looks like Tristan Riley not quite going to be able to get to it. Instead, Stephen Petafeta is there and ready for it. Christie goes across to Tuanga-Fasi, takes the ball confidently with just the one arm. Now Sullivan goes for the box kick here again, or at least the up and under It's going to be a hard one to line up, but Mark Nwanganitawatsi has done it beautifully, which is why the NRL are knocking on his door. Jake Gordon goes across to Jed Holloway. Zai Perezi puts the kick downfield. Now Perofeta very close to the touchline, trying to create that angle inwards. And Edmund kicks it up the middle of the field. It's taken by Mark Talia. It's becoming a kicking battle at the moment, and Zahn Sullivan is one of the best left boots in Super Rugby Pacific. He's shown that almost forcing Edmund into touch, but here's another fly half. Has been doing very well. Mark Talia takes it under the high ball, needs to pass it, and does so to Perofeta. Back across now to Caleb Clark. 40 metres out from their own line here, the Blues. Perofeta puts it high again. Close to the touchline, but nicely cleaned up by Tristan Riley. Hannigan plays half. Neither side really breaking the line at this point, just playing a bit of a seesaw kicking battle. Looks like Gordon's getting ready to send this one back up to the sky. Gave a spank to one of the forwards as well in the process. It's a cheap shot on Thompson Springer's buttocks. It's going to put it high now, Jake Gordon. Slapped back by the Waratahs. Charlie Gamble on the halfway line goes to Tane Edmund. I'd like to think they'll run this rather than kicking it, and that is what they do here, the Tars. Couldn't find his next pass though, Edmund. Does take it to ground. Gordon now goes back to Joey Walton. Goes to the kicking behind. It sits up for Perofeta. Now kicking downfield. Okay, we're playing force back at this point. We've had 4 minutes of kicking. Is either side going to run it? Nwanganitawase gets his offload away to Joey Walton. Gets back up on the halfway line. Papali was able to strip it, but there was a knock on, so instead we get to see a scrum, which at this stage I think the crowd will enjoy more than the kicking back and forth. And come on, the Blues. Here's the Blues, Nate. Just talking about the fact that the Waratahs, kicking game-wise, they are a little bit, I guess you could say, outclassed. That sounds harsh, though, but they are probably the inferior side when it comes to the kicking downfield. They do like to kick it straight down the middle of the field and hope that the opposition makes a mistake, but the Blues are very good at counter-attacking from the back. They have to be extremely cautious when doing so. Oh, we just heard someone say he effing landed on me or something along those lines in Scotland for the upset before St. Paddy. Says gets. Now the thing is though, if they get an upset, they have to get it good, which is winning it by 8 or more and stopping the Irish from getting themselves the bonus point. Because if they don't, then the Six Nations is still islands. So if we want to see some late drama, Scotland need to win that game comfortably. It's going to be hard to do though at the Aviva on St. Patrick's Day, like you mentioned. And I like cricket. Says right hand swinger in there as well. Or right hand, wait, is it right hand swinger or right hands winger? That's the question. But yeah, cricket's good. It's a shame that the season has ended for playing cricket, but also not many test matches taking place in the near future. Luckily, the Plunket Shield is taking place here in New Zealand, so that is good news. So it is swinger, so it's right hand swinger, okay. So you didn't put a capital for it though, so that's where the confusion came in. I know England is better. Says a right hand. Oh, they're in the middle of their cricket, aren't they? I'm going to have to look up on YouTube, because I know last year we were able to watch the kind of county cricket on YouTube live on the channels. Is it doing that this year again? Right hand swing. And also, when is the first round of county cricket in England? It may have already started though, but do let me know. Now 50-22 attempted for the Tars, and they've got it. Or have they? No, they were just taking the ball back. Okay, the Blues take the quick tap. And if it's on YouTube, says Gareth. I'm going to have to watch those games, Gareth. Last year I didn't really watch too many of them, but this year I think I'm going to watch a lot more. I love county cricket and like domestic cricket, probably the better way of describing it over here in New Zealand. Now Harry Plummer, quick hands from Beardy, goes to Perofeta. Zahn Sullivan now. Papali sells the dummy. Smashed in the tackle by Dylan Riley, or Dylan Peach, I should say, Who's Dylan Riley? He's another centre. I think he's the Japanese centre, if I'm not wrong. As long as you support Surrey. Who plays for Surrey this year, Gareth? Do let me know. Oh, yeah. That was a cheeky clean out from Lange Gleeson. Now Caleb Clark kicks it in behind. Got a bit of pace. But back there is Tane Edmund to be able to clean it up. Has got a man on his ankle and decides to take the contact. Nah, Sussex. Okay, there's a bit of a debate now in terms of who to support. Are there any Kiwis playing in county cricket at the moment? I know Matt Henry spent a long time over there playing for counties. Now 2 metres out from their line. The Waratahs have to try and get this one downfield. It is available for them. Gordon's been told to use it. Puts it up high now. Does get it into touch. It's only going to be about 12 metres out from their line though. So the territory battle here has definitely gone the way of the Blues. And the strategic play to take it quickly was a good plan for the Blues in the end. Pope, Burns, Jacks, Folks, Curran. Okay, so that's a pretty decent side. Who's that? Surrey. I'm going to have to click that one. Oh, Evan de Colin de Gronholm. I think he was playing for the Adelaide Strikers, I believe, last year in the BBL. I don't know if he's still playing any form of international cricket. Like, I don't think he still is in contention. Push towards the touchline. Kurt Eklund just gets the offload away. Referee says he's in touch. Great defence from the Tars. We're 13 minutes in and still 0-all between these two sides. And I'll play for the Kiwis. Sears right-hand swinger. That's all right. I still like watching it. So when does that season start, or has it already started for their county cricket? Ball about to be thrown in. A little bit loose. Gordon goes across to Charlie Gamble. Oh, another penalty goes their way. I think that was Akira Ioane once again penalised, although this time it was Dalton Papali'i. And it starts soon. Sayers right-hand swinger. Also, Caleb needs to be more physical. Sayers Katzenell. He's one of those players who has all the power in the world, but just doesn't seem to get to use it as much as some of the other wingers in the competition. Hopefully this game is one that we really do see him step up. And he'd been relatively happy, I believe, with that kick downfield. They're showing Hoskins a 2 to a man who is the leading try scorer at the moment in the competition, or at least he was, with his 5 tries across 2 weeks. Some absolutely insane stats in that regard. Now it's going to be thrown in, nicely taken by Jed Holloway. Don't change your bind, says the referee. The Tars make about 10 metres with the rolling maul. It's gone high. Stephen Perofeta. Oh yeah, he's been taken out in the air. Hey team, haven't been here. CSC Fence, well, welcome back, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. I moved to play for Lancashire, says Gareth. So is that Colin de Gronholm? Or is that, who else did I say? I said someone else earlier, didn't I? I can't think of who it was. I think Lancashire is the side that I play for on my Korean mode on Cricket 22. I haven't actually played a game for them yet, though, but I'm the captain. Penalties conceded, 3 against the Waratahs compared to the 2 that we have seen against the Blues, but that one there taking him out in the air, Tristan Riley. And 18 haven't been here since the World Cup. How are we going? Says Fence, doing extremely well, still streaming. Of course, we've got plenty more coming up tonight. 3 games of the Six Nations back to back to back that we will be covering on the channel. Now, a mistake made by the Blues. The Waratahs have got themselves a scrum feed. They decided to try and go to the front of their lineup, or their line out, I should say, and it hasn't proven effective. Big shot from Tane Edmed on Hoskins, a 2-2 there. De Gronholm, we don't support the Lancs because Seb isn't here to defend himself, says Gareth. And Lancashire is the red rose, says C Fence. Yeah, I think that's the side I went with because I thought that was the team that everyone supported, Gareth, but I think that's only the team that Seb supports now that I have been reminded. 16 and a half minutes in, no tries scored as of yet, no points scored as of yet for these sides. And there's a little bit of a chance that that is the way that it remains for another 10 minutes or so, I would say. There haven't really been any barnstorming runs. Other than Langy Gleeson, I think that his was probably one of the best that we have seen. They have got themselves another scrum. Can you show the game? Sadly, if I show any match footage or audio, I do get taken off YouTube for 3 months and possibly sued. So, sadly, I cannot show the footage, unfortunately. And now Jake Gordon going to the short side. Knock on from Ned Hannigan. Now taken by Lachlan McWannell. Christie goes across the Pirafetta. Plummer in the midfield. No return to Rico Ioane as of yet as he was knocked down. Now Mark Talia in open space. Goes for the chip again. And it's just rolled into touch about 7 metres out from the line. So not a bad result for Mark Talia there with his chip and chase. Caleb needs to take it easy on the KFC visits. Says Musolo, in the off-season they said that he lost about 11 kgs, Caleb Clark. So he is a lot leaner than he was compared to last year. But at the moment it hasn't quite turned into results for that man out on the wing. And that could also be down to the class that we have seen in terms of, I guess, the other players for the Blues in their backline that have really stepped up. That is another penalty, this time going the way of the Waratahs, playing the man in the ear. It's against Lachlan McWannell. A lot of penalties early on throughout this competition. I'm just looking. They sadly do not have the county cricket as something you can see on an app that I have. So I had to find a way of knowing the schedule. Probably just on their website, I would assume. Now another line out here for Heaven. I passed a kidney stone tonight, says the house. So hopefully it all went smoothly for you in that regard. And hopefully you're back on the mend. And back home now, says Novmum. How did you feel, Novmum, about the taking of the 3 points that kind of cost the Chiefs the bonus point in the end? What did you think of that one? Do let me know. And what was the crowd reaction at the game? Chiefs vs. Drill was a great game, except for all the forward passes, says Moose. Another penalty, this time side entry, starting 5th of April. Girlfriend check. We've had a very busy few months with the streaming sea fence. Hardly left the house. Kidney stones out, says Moose. And also Passionate Soccer is on display, says Katzenil. 20 minutes in though, and the Waratahs now 20 metres out have got themselves another line out. These two sides at a stalemate currently. I would argue though and say that slight advantage to the Waratahs throughout the first 20 minutes. Visits to the opposition 22. We've seen 3 in total. Nicely taken. Going to the right-hand side, Jake Gordon, flat pass to Isaiah Perezi. And kicky game, says Gareth there. How do you feel about the Australian side so far this season? I think they've improved drastically compared to what we saw last season. I'm not sure what it is that has changed. I don't know if that's that the New Zealand sides are not going as well or if the Australian sides have just gone a lot better, which I think is actually that. Australian side's been good this year, the Reds and the Tars, says Moose. And I mean, the Brumbies getting themselves to win over the Highlanders just recently. They struggled up against the Chiefs, but a lot of sides look like they will this year. Crowd was good. I was hoping Druid didn't get their last try as it wiped out our bonus point win, says Novmum. And also, can we watch cricket instead? There's currently no cricket on that I know of. I think that the next tour of international cricket is Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. I think it's the next one that's taken place. Joe Schmidt watching this game. I think Martin Guptill can get his first medal when he wins the PSL, says the old battery. "21 minutes in currently. The ball is going to be fed in. Jake Gordon. Now going off to the right-hand side. Nice inside ball to Dylan Peach. Bangladesh is going down. Yeah, I think Sri Lanka should take that one. But you never know. Now, nice run. 4 metres out from the line. Isaiah Perezi, they've got the penalty advantage as well, like I mentioned, the Waratahs. They will continue to look for their first try of the contest. And they're going back for another penalty. Not rolling away penalty against the Blues. Their discipline in that game up against the Hurricanes, it was tested and at times it was failing. And in this case, it's the same thing here. They came last in the ODI World Cup. Yeah, although that's ODI, this is Test match cricket, a little bit different. Of course, West Indies not even qualifying for the ODI World Cup, whereas they beat Australia, the number one Test side in the World Test champions. So you just never know. And damn, been a lot of threes early in this Super. Says Mr. All-In. And yeah, I believe they are taking on the three this time, the Waratahs. It's straight out in front of the post. Should be a nice, easy one for Tane Edmed. Now, does get the boot over. Hey, says Ellie, welcome in. And we have got there fair call. You need an IRL channel so you can get out of the house. See fence. Well, we have got some GoPro cricket videos coming up in the future that we have recorded. They will be released over the next kind of few months because we've got so many of them that we can release. Trial ready. So there's Albert, no tries at this point. And New Zealand tour in Pakistan next month for 5. Unless, of course, they score now, in which case you are still ahead, Albert. So try not to spoil too much. And New Zealand tour in Pakistan next month for a 5 T20 series. I believe we are planning on doing that series on the channel. Peanut, says Albert. Sorry, I'm doing this on your channel. No, it's all good. We do cricket as well. And supporting Islamabad United. Because Martin Guptill playing also, by the way, who are you supporting in the PSL? I haven't actually watched any PSL this year as of yet. That was just really bad from me. But, yeah, I'll have to get some more games under the belt, I think. I was glad to see Anton Lienert-Brown up and walking around after the game. And looked brutal when he went down. It did. And Rieko Ioane actually having the same fate. He got knocked out early on in this game. He has not returned as of yet. That probably changed a lot of the Blues' plans for this one. Big run forward. Finley Christie off to Marcel Renata. I think the 3 points so far throughout this game. It's raining, no. Cricket pitches are wet. And also, we have got their afternoon Hamish, Justin, off the sea enjoying my fishing. And now time for some rugby. Did you catch anything, Joss? Do let me know. Now, another 3-pointers. This time available for the Blues if they want. Charlie Gamble. Just ended up with his hands on the ground, past the ball, in the process of getting the turnover. Stephen Perofeta to line up this 3 points. And damn, I hope Rieko is okay. Yeah, losing him and Anton Lienert-Brown in the same week, pretty brutal. But luckily, I think both of them will be back in a couple weeks' time. After those head knocks, Darren Coleman, Waratahs head coach, you won't mind what he has seen so far, although with the amount of attack that we have seen, I think that they'll be slightly disappointed that they haven't been able to cross the try line as of yet. Just a few needle scale queenfish and one dorado, says Joss. So at least you caught something. That is the good news. I played my last T20 on Friday, says right hand swinger. And everyone talking about the cricket, also every game, says Dog Battery. One has gone and missed for Stephen Perofeta. Unfortunately, picking up from where he left off, he did actually miss the last one up against the Hurricanes last week. And it hasn't quite worked out. That was actually what made them miss out on the bonus point. I'm now leaving this live. Sorry, says right-hand swinger. And there's like, well, it was nice to see you for the short time that you did pop in. I've got there why the 3-man come on. Says Nate, I don't think they'll go for the 3 again, though. I think that they want the 7. Soskin Satutu charges at the line, hit hard by Harry Johnson Holmes. Now Christie back across to Lachlan McWannell. And straight up says Mr. All-In, Perofeta puts the kick high to Leah chasing after it, trying to line it up. Knocked on from Mark Nawang and Nitawasi. Also played the ball on the ground. It's now going to be the scrum feed for the Blues. I love having it as raw fish and baking the meats. Hamish, are you fasting for Ramadan? I am not. No, I had a banana before. But 14 minutes remaining. In this first half, hurry up, Blues, says Blues Nate. And neither of these sides looking likely to get themselves a bonus point here with the way that is currently sitting. But massive run forward from Hoskins at 2-2. And then Jed Holloway and Harry Johnson Holmes just eating that contact and taking him down. Also trying to hold him up. Finley Christie to feed the ball in again here for the Blues. I believe I've already given away maybe about 7 penalties throughout this first 26 minutes. It hasn't been the best disciplinary game for them in this match. The Waratahs have probably given away about 4. What do you think the All Blacks are going to be like under Scott Robertson? It's a great question. They will be a new-looking side, of course, with so many changes compared to what they did have last year. But I'm hoping that even if they start off rough, people don't straight away say sack the coach, because he probably needs this World Cup cycle to really find what is going to work for the ABs. I don't fast for Ramadan even more. Says Mus. Front row angling in. The penalty going against the Waratahs here. Do the Blues want the 3? No, they are kicking for the corner with Zahn Sullivan. That is a good move because, like I mentioned, that earlier kick from Perifeta did miss. You might as well be trying to make the most of the ball in hand. Only once have the Blues visited the opposition's 22. Robinson should have coached the Rebels to a flag to prove his AB's job worthless. We need the Blues, says Bhavani. The ball's going to be thrown in by Kurt Eklund, taken to the front by Hoskins Tutu, and now the rolling maul of the Blues does lose a couple metres. They are told to use a Mark Talia, taken down by Hannigan. Back across to the left-hand side. So Bryce Hem getting a start at 12. Now alongside Harry Plummer in this game due to the Rico Ioane head knock. Gamble rushes up out of the defensive line over the middle of the breakdown and gets the turnover. Christie wasn't watching. Brilliantly done by Charlie Gamble to get that ball back. Joey Walton, ball on the outside to Edmed. Now here comes Dylan Peach. And worthiness says Hanoi. It's kicked in behind. And we'll go back for the original penalty. New Zealand B didn't play against Australia A. Would have been 2-1. New Zealand winning series if Conway wasn't injured in Test. Wagner didn't retire. Would have been 1-1 Test. That's the thing though. There are always going to be ifs and buts. And unfortunately, the result is the one that we've got. And that's the one we kind of got to go off. But yeah, if injured players were available, maybe the results would have been different. If someone scored more runs, maybe it could have been different. If someone didn't drop a catch, maybe it could have been different. But that's just Test match cricket. You win some, you lose some. And the Black Cats, they did lose them, unfortunately. Now throwing this ball in for Julian Heaven. Slapped back onto the side of the Tars. Tane Edmed goes to Isaiah Perezi. Good fend there on Harry Plummer. Breaking out of 3 tackles. Caleb Clark, the man who has to stop him eventually. Now going to the right-hand side, Mark Nwanganita Wase, trying to get through Heem's tackle. Ben says it's the best youngster for New Zealand. They should use him more often, says Dolk. Now going to the right-hand side, Hoskins Tutu gets his offload away. There's an offside advantage as well. Pirafeta goes for the chip in behind. And Edmund tries to kick the ball away. Oh no, there was no advantage. I'm sure I heard someone say penalty offside advantage. And Charlie Gamble is a very good player and make the Wallabies this year. I think he's got a decent shot, Charlie Gamble. He's been a bit of a workhorse, although they also have Fraser McWright. They also have, Harry Wilson, Rob Valentini. They've got a lot of guys in that loose board trio. Yeah, thought about throwing it back infield. Why is it so low scoring? It's scary, says Aiden. Just a low scoring close game between these two sides. Although the Blues now, they've got their best opportunity to score in this half. Going to be looking to roll this one forward with their maul. Kurt Eklund with the ball in his hands at the back. Start to make a couple extra meters here. Been told to use it once. Now Christie thought about grabbing that ball. It wasn't quite there for him. Now Eklund being defended by Langy Gleeson. They don't stop him. And the Blues, I believe, have just crossed the try line for the first time. Jordan Wade didn't see it. In fact, they're checking something here. TMO, please. They've got on-field try. Okay, they're checking whether or not there is obstruction of the maul. And that could end up hurting. And we have got there, given there are some trees that burn more calories than outfield Test cricketers. Should we not be commentating bird watching? Maybe some grass growing, possibly paint drying? Says Seafeds. Gee, a bit brutal. I actually went to a test match recently, watched New Zealand versus Australia live. It was a good atmosphere. Are you doing all the Six Nations games today? We certainly are. They just want to check whether or not there is obstruction. Did Christie take possession as something else that they want to check? Did he have the ball and then he gave it back to Kurt Eklund? Because if he did that as a forward pass. All right, we're going to see it here. This angle won't show it. Okay, I think I just heard the TMO say there was obstruction as they did break away. Oh no, they might change this one. Okay, so it's going to be no try and obstruction. And Jordan Ways, there's Blues. Nate, will you commentate on the new A-League football team? Don't know. We'll see. I think that's next year, isn't it? Or later this year that they will get their first games. That's like every rolling will try. Says annoying, goddammit. Says a Blues, Nate. Okay, penalty to the Waratahs for obstruction. So it's going to be no try. We are 31 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. And we are still yet to see a try scored in this contest. 31 minutes, the lowest scoring game that we have seen for both of these sides at this point. Is that Michael Hooper in the commentary box? I don't think it would be, as he should be with the Aussie Sevens, I would be thinking. They are only a few weeks away from playing in Hong Kong. Oh, to be fair, no, he'll be back in Australia, I would say. I don't think South Africa will win this championship, but I see already thinking 4 years ahead. I will see a very new-look team, a few old boys, and to be fair, if you watch or want to watch acting, you have much better options, says Seafeds. I see taken. Back across to the right-hand side, Jake Gordon with a bit of a rough pass, close to a knock-on there from Angus Bell, who has made his way onto the field, replacing Thompson Stringer, I should say, sorry. It's going to be another knock-on advantage for the Blues if South Africa don't win. Who do you think is going to win it? New Zealand are in rebuilding phase as well. See, it's a tricky one because whoever wins it is probably whoever adapts the best with the new side. So I still think South Africa have a decent chance. I think Argentina, they're probably the most likely in terms of the consistency of their squad. But then saying that, they struggle sometimes with those away games. So, yeah, it's very hard to say. Okay, there, Hamish, will you commentate Euros 2024 coming up in June, July, bro, the same, or the T20 World Cup also happening at the same time? Well, then probably not, if that is the case. We will hopefully be able to cover the T20 World Cup on the channel. We didn't cover the last one because we got copyright struck. And I think the one before that, we also got copyright struck. So we'll see. But hopefully we can do some of the T20 World Cup. Argentina will win, says Hanoi. And China, or do you mean the CCP is going to ban the Hong Kong Sevens? That is extremely sad, says Mus. And ball fed in by Finley Christie. 33 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen, and your eyes do not deceive you. The score is 3-0 for the Waratahs. But the Blues, they've got a chance now. Zahn Sullivan with the penalty advantage. They're going back for the penalty again. Right, does Pitafetta take the 3 points now, or do they go for the corner again? And Ben says is the next Neil Wagner for New Zealand. Says Dog. Right, they are going to kick this one for the corner again, this time with Stephen Pitafetta. Looks like ever since Angus Bell's made his way onto the field, he's had a handling error and a penalty against him. Not exactly the best start for that man since making his way onto the park. 34 minutes down. This is weird that we've only had the 3 points. Yes, we've been close, like we almost saw that try Kurt Eklund, but disallowed due to obstruction. And yeah, but arguably New Zealand have been rebuilding for a while, so they should be further ahead of South Africa, and they'll be keeping receipts from the World Cup, so my money is on New Zealand, says Kyle. Nice steal in the line out by the Waratahs. Charlie Gamble puts boot to ball. It's a decent kick, to be fair, in terms of distance. But now Zahn Sullivan going for the little chip in behind hoping that the ball bounces favourably. Gordon does kick it back downfield. Sullivan asking for a penalty. Oh, okay, double blow of the whistle. Foot in touch for Jake Gordon, so that is a massive amount of distance lost. And damn, this game is just as dire as the Gaines versus the Crusaders. Says Mus, although to be fair in that game, we got an early try. Or early-ish try, I guess you could say. With the fact that it happened in the first half. And hurry up, Blues, says Blues Nate. And hello, I'm back, says right hand swing. Welcome back, mate. Hope you are still doing well. 35 minutes through. Kurt Eklund now with this line-out throw. Dalton Papali'i going to Harry Plummer on the inside. Tars have been very good at getting those turnovers right. Oh, Charlie Gamble was offside there. Back across. Only a few metres out from the line. Josh Beatty sells the dummy, tries to roll. He's 2 metres from the line. Tuanga Fussy. He is over the line and he has scored the first try of the match now. It has taken 35 and a half minutes. But Ofa Tuanga Fussy gets the first one. And get in there, lads. Lads, game boring right now, says the Blues Nate. Finally, says Birds of Lace. And also we have got there, this game could open up in the second half, says John. Oh, hang on. Hang on, we're going to double blow the whistle. What's this? Try for the quick conversion. I don't think they're checking something here. Hopefully. And Mangere boy, says Mr. Allin. OMG, says Beds Ablaze. Now, I think that one does stand. The try will be all right. Enough from old Apapatoto. Says yikes. Stephen Petafetta to line up this kick. Good, says Beds Ablaze. That one has now gone over. Score sitting at 7 points to 3. After the 36 minutes in this contest. But Tuanga Fussy, yeah, got the ball down. Referee was looking for it. Couldn't quite see the grounding for a start, but eventually got into position to be able to see it. Well, like this. Looking at the odds, the Blues are still slight favourites. In fact, they're a little bit more of a heavy favourite than they were at the start. But not by much. The Waratahs are still in this game. Definitely because we're only at half-time almost, and it is 7 points to 3. 4 points difference between these two sides. Perhaps that is the try that the Blues needed, though, to build some momentum for themselves. 37 and a half minutes gone. Finley Christie with the ball in hand goes off to the right-hand side to Dalton Papali'i. Now Sullivan plays first receiver. Second is Petafetta. Does now put it back down the field. It looks like we're going back to the kicking game that did take place between the 5th and the 9th minute. Kick back downfield from Mark Nwanganitawasi. Zan Sullivan will fire back with the left boot. Taken inside of the 22 by Mark Nwanganitawasi. This time looks like he's going to try and put this ball into touch. And does just that. Into halfway. Line out now for the Blues. My yawn describes this game, says Better Blaze. I like cricket, says right hand swing. Oh, I know you do. Of course, cricket a little bit away from the next ones taking place, but we'll try and cover some on the channel in the near future. Nicely worked in behind Caleb Clark. Cut out past the Mark Talia. He's knocked that one on. Yep, he has. They weren't going to call it for a start. Oh, hang on. Mark Talia gave the ball off to Joey Walton. It really not. I love it. And also we've got their task should be up by 15. Hamish, says Mr. Allin. I mean, they've been playing pretty well. They've had a lot more visits to the opposition 22, but we have lacked, I guess, the try-scoring ability for the Waratahs throughout this game at this point. Bit of a conversation there between Jordan Way and Harry Johnson-Holmes. And also Tuanga Fussy getting in there and having a bit of a chat about the scrum as well. And Blues by 40, says yikes. I mean, if they did win by 40, that would be pretty impressive. Just because like, don't get me wrong, it could happen, but I think that it will have to be a flawless second half for them, which will be quite challenging. Okay, Gordon now to feed this ball in. 40 seconds left in the half, and they are 40 metres out. Lange Gleeson breaking off the back. He's already had one powerful run earlier on in this one. Now Ned Hannigan passes across to Hoskins Tutu. Hamish, if you saw toxic people in your chat, yeah, quite a few. Nice offload from Gordon. It's going to be another penalty advantage, or at least a knock-on advantage in favour of the Waratahs. Going to the left-hand side. Tane Edmed. One more on the outside over the top. Lange Gleeson wasn't able to clean it up. Charlie Gamble tried to find the offload. It has gone down, so there is now going to be another scrum feed just before the halftime siren. The Tars have got one last chance, which is interesting because this could actually give them the lead going into halftime. And that would be, like I said, quite impressive for the Tars. Hopefully we can get the wins tonight, mate. Says a Blues, Nate. Tane Edmed, good flat ball to Isaiah Parisi, who's just breaking through tackles for fun at the moment. Only Christie missing that tackle. Then he did knock the ball on. Now, some would argue that that could be considered a deliberate knockdown. Could have ended up being the penalty rather than just the knock-on. I doubt both teams score 40 points between them, says Mus. And there as well. And up the Tars, New South in the mouth. Interesting. I just saw the Brumbies versus Islanders highlights, says Glenn Woods. It was an interesting game. Close one once again. I think that is the trend at the moment for Super Rugby Pacific, is we're going to have a lot of games decided by less than 10 points and sometimes even less than the 7. Can't believe they gave the Brumbies first try, says Glenn Woods. Can't believe it's already been a year since legendary World Cup final happened between France and Argentina. I've been in the New Zealand versus South Africa World Cup final, not going to lie, that was trash, says Dole Battery. Now Tane Edmed, great hands from him to keep it on the side of the Waratahs. They put phases together inside of the 22. To the right again. And also, you don't go to church, then Uso. Says it was there from Yikes. On the side, Charlie Gamble. Good defence at the moment from the Blues. 8 phases in a row. Angus Bell hits it up. He's been on the field ever since Thompson Stringer went off earlier on. Hannigan now gets a wedgie for his troubles. Can the Tars get through? That is the big question. They're up to 9 phases here, back to back to back. We have got there, Joe Schmidt said the only promise he makes is that the Aussie players will work hard for the Wallabies jersey. Has taken that message to their Super Rugby clubs, says John. And I mean, it is showing at the moment for the way that some of these sides have been able to play throughout the early stages of the competition. Angus Bell gets to now 7 metres out from the line. Papali'i gets the turnover and the breakdown. Christie will boot it dead. And that is going to be halftime now, ladies and gentlemen. 7 points to 3. I carded in Super Rugby final, World Cup final, some captain in it, says Marco. I know players are missing, but it's the coincidence that Razor leads the Crusaders and they start losing. Go back to 2017 when Razor took over the Crusaders. They haven't won a title since 2008, says The Rock. I mean, when you look at the players that they are missing, though, this year, it is pretty obvious why they are struggling. The fact that their combination at the moment for 9 and 10 was Willie Hines, who, no offence to that man, but he's not exactly in his prime. And also a young man, Riley Hohepa, who's only had, well, this was his first start for the Crusaders, so chucked in the deep end. Before that, they had Noah Hotham, who's a 21-year-old. At 10, they also had a 21-year-old. If you can't get the ball out the back line to your stars, you're not going to score tries, you're not going to win games. And the Crusaders have learnt that not having Mo'unga is a very big hole to fill. Saw Sam Kane after that Super Rugby final. He had a scowl on his face. He hasn't left it since. And confessed to half Hamish, tough test for a warm-up next week. Says Mr. Orlin. Of course, not having Rico Ioane next week. Going to be very interesting, see how the Blues go. I would assume he's not going to be playing anyway. Messi or Ronaldo, pick one, bro. Very different football players, of course. One of them has a World Cup, one of them doesn't. But, yeah, it's an interesting debate for those two. Currently half-time in this one. We will get some stats up in terms of who is sitting better throughout the first 40 minutes of this game. Very low-scoring one. And Melbourne Storm are pumping our wires, Hamish. Also, what do you reckon, mate? Well, they probably aren't playing that well, the Warriors, unfortunately, in that contest. And it's true. Yep, he got knocked out in the first 2 minutes of this game. So, yeah, more than likely we'll be missing for that game next week. Missed first 10 minutes of the game. To be fair, Rico Ioane almost did 2. He only got to play 2 of them. Just remember the Crusaders haven't won Super Rugby for 9 years until Razor took over, says The Rock. And I was like, damn, says Mr. Orlin and there as well. Looking at the odds at the moment, the fact that they are in the lead, they're favourites. Bit more heavy than the start of this game. Morning, Hamish. Happy St. Patrick's Day and all that jazz. You're doing the Ireland versus Scotland game later. Watch the under-20s games last night. Ireland versus Scotland. France versus England, and England ended up champs, says Dennis. And there as well, yeah. So we'll see what happens in the men's side of things. But we are doing all 3 games on the channel. They are almost back to back to back. We are going to be covering them all as they happen as well. Ronaldo, as unlike Messi, I don't care if Messi has won a World Cup. Ronaldo sold his blood, says Dole. And I was really a damn, says Mr. Orlin. And it's not just Robinson who left, it's Jason Ryan as well. That is true. Very good scrum coach and also forwards coach for the Crusaders. They've lost a lot of oomph this year, but looking through at some of the meters gained, relatively even, 287 for the Blues throughout this half compared to the 249 for the Waratahs. Now, a lot of those meters gained have actually been from running back their own kicks. Defenders been in 15 for the Waratahs compared to the 7 of the Blues. Clean breaks 2 for the Blues compared to the 1 of the Waratahs, and 4-1 in favour of the Blues for offloading. Tackles, we have seen 15 missed tackles for the Blues, but they have made 83 tackles compared to the Waratahs, who have made 57 and also have missed 7. The penalties conceded, 7 against the Blues, 6 against the Tars. And looking at a few individual performances, the best of the Blues, in fact, the best of the Waratahs, Tane Edmund, most running metres with 46. Most defenders beaten have gone to Isaiah Parisi. He has had 6 defenders beaten, 1 clean break, and also has made 45 metres along the way. Most running metres for the Blues is actually Caleb Clark. Well, sorry, it's Hoskins Atutu with 51, but a lot of those did come from when he was running that ball back off the kick. Clark with 48. Mark Talia with 37. Tackling stats-wise, 8 tackles made by Fergus Lee Warner. He is the leading tackler. Charlie Gamble has got 2 turnovers, 1. And then 2 turnovers, 1 for Dalton Papali'i. But the leading tackler is Ofa Tongafasi with the 10. There you go. Those are some of the stats to do with the first half. It's going to be an entertaining second half. And of course, the halftime break is normally extremely long with the Australian Super Rugby game. So we've probably still got another 10 minutes or so before the second half does get back underway. That stadium background where, says Dennis, so this is just FMG Stadium. It's the same location as I had for the last stream. I didn't have the Waratahs home ground as one of the available ones that I normally would, so just went with that. That's also Mount Smart Stadium, fun fact, that is next to me there. How's it going? Says Ollie is the best. It's going all right so far. Speaking of all right, and in terms of how it's going and where it's going, for the Blues, their next game will be up against the Crusaders. That is going to be next Saturday at 7:05 p.m. That is going to be an outstanding game. Of course, we will be covering it on the channel. Moana Pacifica versus the Blues. That is taking place at 4:35 p.m. Then the the Blues versus the Force. Then they versus the Brumbies. Words aren't working. And then the Reds, their last game in the next 5 that they have got coming up for the Waratahs. Their next week's game is going to be up against the Fijian Draw in Fiji. So that'll be an interesting game as the Fijian Draw have an impressive record when playing on home soil. The next game after that will be up against the Rebels, then the Brumbies, then the Crusaders, who they did beat earlier on in the season. And then they have got their game up against the Chiefs. Although they do have a rest week in between those 2 games where they do get a bit of a spell. Looking through at the reserves for these two sides. For the Waratahs, I think the big player off the bench here is going to be Lockie Swinton. I think that his power and also that aggressive nature will do him well in this game up against the Blues. Plus, he just has to muscle up more with the replacements for the Blues, whether that's Anton Segner, Cameron Suafor, or the starting three in Papali'i, Akiriwani, and also Hoskins. So Tutu, Harry Plummer already out there on the field for the Blues due to the injury of Rico Ioane. Still got Ta'avao Fusitua and Swane Vakina as the front row replacements available. I did unteach yourself how to do green screens. Someone show you. To be fair, on the software that I use, it's pretty simple. You just get an image, you put it in, and then you can kind of go from there. But everything from our YouTube channel side of things is all pretty much self-taught. Take your time, Moose. I'm listening to Brittany Houston. Says, yikes. And also we have got there, can I ask what game did you enjoy the very best ever, any sport? Oh, that's hard. Because my brain recently, I don't know. I actually couldn't tell you. In terms of cricket or rugby, yeah. Ever since the World Cup, my memory has been terrible in terms of I'm forgetting so many things in real life at the moment, which is not good because it's going to slowly, I think, get worse. But hopefully I do remember when we got streams and whatnot. We have got there easy home run for the Tahs travel-wise and chess crowd for the draw game, 13,660. Can we get a roll tide? What does a roll tide pay? I think you've asked for one of those before, and I can't remember what it was. What is a roll tide? Women's tennis, says Hanoi. Now, second half, just around the corner from starting. Only the one try coming in this game. That is for Ofa Tongafasi, who has been able to score the one try of the match. They are just showing the earlier results. The Brumbies able to beat the Highlanders 27 points to 21. In fact, I'm going to stop reading off those results because for anyone who wants to watch those games after without spoilers, I will not spoil the other games that have taken place. But been some interesting results. Couple underdogs getting themselves the victories. They're just showing Curtly Beale. He is playing club rugby at the moment in the Australian Club Championships. I'm not sure if his team won or lost. And also both these teams are leveled down from the Chiefs. Says Pete D. Say the N-word? No, I don't think I can, mate. Is that what a roll tide is, or is that something else? Okay, Hamish. Old people lose their... Not you, I believe you're in your 20s, 24, I guess. Yeah, I think I am 24, I believe. Yeah. That was bad too, wasn't it? But yeah, I think it's just from... Yeah, I don't know what it's from, to be honest, but it's not good. On a serious note, not good. But hopefully she'll be right and I'll get it back at some stage. Because I used to have a brilliant memory and now it's just I can't remember anything. But showing the Super Rugby Women's competition has got underway. Of course, Super Rugby Aupiki also in play. Allianz Stadium, the host of this game. The first 40 minutes only seeing the 10. Marco still asleep. Says the big set on. I know he was awake earlier. I'm not sure about now. How many, or did you have many head knocks like Will Pekowski? I feel like it. And the Chiefs vs the Hurricanes final, says the Rock. That would be a good final. I feel like those sides would be relatively even. I think it's a little while till we get to see them play each other. Mate, I sure can relate some days. I can't remember my own name. Piers, thanks for all the stuff you do for rugby. I'd be lost without you doing these streams from a guy that loves sport. Says Dennis, an amazing cricket last night with the T20 Lions beating the Titans in one run after scoring 180. An amazing game, says Outlaw. And for a team stacked with stars, you'd expect the Blues to be 14 plus points. Yeah, looking through at their starting lineup, you would think that they came into this game as heavy favourites, and they did. But they unfortunately haven't been able to back it up. Unfortunately, the Waratahs, they are considered as $5.50 underdogs. But they're not out of this game. If they can turn some of their territory into points, Blues could be in a bit of trouble, seeing as they have given away the more penalties as well, the Blues. And Jets are going to say, watching Aussie Rugger making a comeback is so good to see. It certainly is. I hope the Bledisloe is going to be entertaining as well, just because that'll be when we really see what they can do as a side. Unfortunately, it's very early on that they are going to be in that situation of having to gel. TARs have been challenging. Have you been tested for Lyme disease? Can affect your memory and energy levels. I don't think my energy levels are the problem. It's just because I stay up for 30 plus hours doing streaming as well as editing and whatnot. I think I've just fried my brain to the point of hopefully return. Hopefully it's not at the point of no return at this stage, or else that would be quite sad. Rugby needs Australia, says Dennis. And what position you play in, Hammy? Probably you have heaps of head knocks. No, I was out on the wing when I was playing. I didn't ever get concussed that I know of. Not that I remember anyway, but no, I think the worst I got while playing rugby was a bleeding nose. If Razor becomes the coach, to lose the Bledisloe will ruin his legacy, says Annoy. It would, but at the same time, it's going to be very early on, isn't it? So, no matter what, one of the coaches are going to get a lot of backlash, aren't they? It's either going to be Joe Schmidt for the Wallabies going, oh, he hasn't changed them enough, sack him, that normally is the mindset, or it's going to be the All Blacks. It's going to be, Razor can't do it for them, but I think it's just going to take time. It's unfortunate that both of them, their first real test, I believe, in terms of on their resumes, will be the Bledisloe Cup. And Bulls and Leinster is going to be a killer. Says Outlaw. There's some good games coming up in the URC, that is for sure. As well as the Champions Cup. When is the next round of the Champions Cup? I think we're only a couple weeks away. Champions Cup. 6th of April. How many weeks away is that? I think that's 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks away from those ones. Bulls taking on Lyon in that contest. Leinster versus Leicester. Stormers versus La Rochelle. There's a lot of rematches from their groups. I think it's of the round of 16, about 10 of the sides have already played each other, I should say. Oh, good Zuso, I was surrounded by at church until I was 14 years old. Says, yikes. Showing a McDonald's ad, which I like McDonald's. They're all right. Have you watched any of the Australian League games, mate, where Nonu is currently? I have not, no. Do find it hard to find full match replays of some of those contests from overseas. New South Wales Waratah man in his gimp suit, says Marco Avonapola. Of course, second half just around the corner. Like I said, it's normally a very long halftime break when it comes to Australian Super Rugby. It's actually been it's been 13 minutes since I mentioned it should be probably another 10 minutes maximum. Just going back 20 minutes ago they were playing. We'll just see exactly how long it's been. Okay, it's been about 14 minutes. So I'd like to think that they are very close to making their way back out onto the field. It's 15 minutes I would think would be the maximum that they can take for halftime. Razor came in at the wrong time to coach our ABs. Too many good players left. Exactly right. Similar to the Crusaders for the new coach who finds himself in that same position, being Rob Penny. He's pretty much been thrown a team that have no cohesion and are expected to be champions. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. Well, we will go like that. And like that. Yeah, the Bulls and Leinster game going to be sick. And cool to see two World Cup coaches going head-to-head, said the Big Seven. There's some big games of the URC around the corner, of course. We're going to be covering it on the channel. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But the halftime break is finally over. And we are back underway for the second half. It is kicked off by the Blues. Nicely taken by Mark Nwanganetawasi. Just out from his own 22. Jay Gordon now going to fire this one back into the pocket to Tane Edmed. Now, something that the Waratahs will be disappointed about was the amount of attack that they had, but the lack of points that they were able to turn it into. Zahn Sullivan. Now, Christie goes off to Kurt Eklund. He was close to scoring earlier on in the match. Stephen Petafeta goes away to Akiri Ioane, the only Ioane who is left out there on the field due to his brother getting knocked out 2 minutes into the contest. Now Christie, back across to Ofa, Tuangafasi. Ooh, almost got stuck on the leg there of Caleb Clark. Who's going to get the wooden spoon this year? Somehow I don't think it will be Moana Pacifica this year. I agree, I don't think they will. I think the Western Force currently look like the most likely contenders. My memory is bad too. I'm wondering if any of those Stars boys were at the World Cup. I think Jed Holloway was. And Mark Nwanganetawasi was. I think, was Parisi or was he injured at the time? What happened to Freak Riley or Freaky Riki? Is he okay? So he got knocked out off trying to make a tackle on Langy Gleeson. Ate an elbow, went to sleep, and has not returned to the field after that. So he will not be playing next week up against the Crusaders. I would strongly advise him not to play that game anyway if he's being knocked out, and if he fails his HIA, he'll have a concussion more than likely. So yeah, they'll have to make sure they do rest him. New Zealand Warriors says, yikes, at the Fijian fullback for the Tars with a long name was there. Says Moose, Mark Nwanganetawasi, that is. I never forget when Marco came into the pub and I worked at. Made the fatal mistake of calling him Billy. Oh, that would have been brutal. Now pass out wide for the Tars. They've got a bit of space to work with here. Dylan Peach. Back across to Fergus Lee Warner. He actually made the most tackles out of anyone for the Tars throughout that first half. Which teams do you think has overperformed expectations the most? In a way, probably Moana Pacifica. But then also, I would say, probably the Hurricanes. So people knew they'd be all right. Oh, but then the Rebels as well. To be fair, there are a lot of sides that have done better than people anticipated. The Reds were always going to be relatively up there. Obviously, it wasn't fatal, mate. Or is this your ghost typing that? Says a Moose. The Blues have the ball on the 22 mark to Lear. Now sneaking round the side of the breakdown. Dragged down by Julian Heaven. Back across, or Fatuangafasi. Putting in the big fin, but gets driven backwards. By the Tars number 5, and this one being, I think that is Fergus Lee Warner, in fact. Kiriwani back across to Lachlan McWannell. To the left again, Christie. Goes to Perifeta. That looks close to a turnover for the Waratahs. No, they've given away the penalty advantage. Cleary should be playing for Ireland. So there's Kyle, nice offload from the Blues. Josh Beattie now, 15 metres out from the line. Marcel Renata got the offload up, looked extremely flat to a Kiriwani, but Papali'i round the side of the breakdown gets himself the try. And that is now try number 2, although they will check this to see whether or not maybe that pass was forward. Okay, they want to check to see whether or not there was a potential player taken out here. He did say it happens all the time, and I was starstruck. And No Ghost Typing got to meet the whole Lions team after their tour to South Africa, says the big Van Seddon. The big Seddon. I'm not sure where Van came from. I dropped the ball, so to speak, but Marco, what a lad. Around the side, I think they're checking to see whether or not Hoskins Satutu took out Mark Nwanganetawasi. I think that offload up from Marcel Renata was debatably forward. But they just want to check whether or not Mark Nwanganetawasi, was he taken out? Yeah, he was taken past the ball by Hoskins Satutu. He wasn't a part of the breakdown. And he goes through that space. I think this is going to be a no try, unfortunately, for Dalton Papali'i. About to hear it, though. I haven't got advantage, no, says Jordan Way. So 15's not a part of the ruck. Okay, Dalton Papali'i is saying there was a penalty advantage to us. They want to check it. And Papali'i looking like a good cap in favour. And Satutu should have took Mark all the way to Roosters HQ across the road. And Billy would have demanded free for food to satisfy his big bulging belly. Says Marco. Okay, there was penalty advantage. So they are going back, and it will be the penalty to the Blues. Dalton Papali'i was not happy about it. And Blues by 40 metres. Says yikes. Not rolling away penalty against the Waratahs. Second try of the game disallowed for the Blues. But they will now kick this one for the corner. Try and build on the lead. I met Christian Cullen in a dodgy TAB on the rainy Wellington night once. Says Annoy. Yeah, obviously meeting heroes isn't a big thing for you. Now Kurt Eklund throwing that one in, not stolen. So the Blues have retained it. Here comes Caleb Clark. Moves to 5 metres out from the line. Round the side off at Toinga Fasi. He's tasted a try today and he wants another one. I'm back to Kurt Eklund again. Around the side of the breakdown. That was close to the ball being lost in the ground by Akira Ioane. Looks like now there is just a pile up of players. Peter Feta sold the dummy, gets nailed in the shot by Hannigan. Little bit of a counter ruck there from the Tars. They don't get the turnover though. Charlie Gamble, any chance he gets, he's going to go in there and try and get that ball back. Back across to the left-hand side. Caleb Clark just out 1 metre from the try line. And it's going to be called... What's it been called as? What is Jordan Wade called here? He's laughing about it. What's he called? Okay, 8's come down on top, so it's made it unplayable, which means now that the Blues have got the scrum feed 5 metres out from the line. That was very confusing, though. Which number 8? Langy Gleet? No, that's in through the side, isn't it? Yeah, so Hannigan's tried to stop it from going over, which has in turn stopped the ball from being playable. And mate, I'd rather come here than forward now. Or here for now, Warriors getting dusted. I think they will lose to France, but they will smash Ireland and England in the November International. And Kiwi lads, this year I think it's going to be an up and down year for Scott Robinson. Since he has to rebuild the All Blacks, we'll smash England. We won't win the Rugby Championship. There's LKK in there. Helen's son Caleb was close. Now Blues 5 metres from the Tars line. Good position on the field. Fern Cotter having a conversation with him. He said that it hasn't been easy out there. So, and that was in from the side. I thought so, but I believe because he was in the motion of trying to stretch out and score, because he was so close, he is apparently allowed to do that. Whereas, like, out in general play, that would have been in through the side of the right penalty. But because he's close to the line and can have the opportunity to extend that arm out, you're allowed to stop him, if that makes sense. And so is Artie playing for the ABs this year? I'm not actually sure about Artie Savia and how he ranks in terms of if he's allowed to. Will the Wallabies go okay against the best team in the world in November Autumn Tests? Says Hanoi. Now the Blues, another scrum here. Ball is fed in by Finley Christie. Just making a couple metres in the process here. They've got a new penalty advantage and it's stolen by Gamble, so they go back for the penalty to the Blues. So the Tars rushing back to the line just in case the Blues want to try and take this one quickly from 5 or so metres out. It's like they're against that idea though. 2023 will be up and down year for the All Blacks. Well, but come 2027, 2026, that fire is going to be back. Scott Robinson is going to bring the fire back to the All Blacks. Good evening / morning, says Flesh. Welcome in, mate. You are doing extremely well. And also Wallabies playing the Springboks in November. I don't think so, no. I think that they're going to be playing... Who do the Springboks have at the end of the year? They've got some big sides. I think they're playing Ireland. They're playing England. They're playing France, I think. I think Wales have the toughest in terms of the teams that they are playing, though, at the end of the year. If they made the final last November, they would have, says Hanoi. I'm in bed with a slight hangover. Are you still watching Italy versus Wales, though, Fleshin? I assume you're not going to the local pub for it if you're Oh, to be fair, a hangover, the best way to get rid of it, some say, is to continue drinking. Now, that is not what I say. Not gamble responsibly, drink responsibly, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the big scrum feed. Blues, they have been told to use it. And, they didn't use it. So the Waratahs get themselves the scrum feed. Now, Christie is livid, but he was told to use it by the referee. Christie's saying it was still moving, so I couldn't, but he could. He just chose not to. He was hoping to win that penalty rather than the Blues just going for it here. Jack Gordon put on the pressure. On Jack Gordon, lucky I didn't get Sky Sports now, $25 this week for the Warriors. That's the box, or that's a box. So here's Nars Williams. Is this referee French? He is not. No, he is Australian. Jordan Waite, who's one of the only referees I know of who's been concussed while playing, or while refereeing, sorry. Or has gone off for an HIA anyway. I'm watching us at home and out for the other two. I'm still traumatised from going to Cardiff last week, says Fleshin. And also say to second to last on the table come next week. Could have their first win of the season, although they're up against the Chiefs, so up against the Blues. So not an easy game. Looks like a few changes are being made. Angus Ta'avao onto the field. Same with Fusitua, making his way up there. And Christie looking like he's starting to fall into the rubbish. Says Mr. Orlin, I think he has for the last year and a half, but that is a different topic. Of course, I felt like he shouldn't have even been selected for the ABs, but he did get there and he didn't really do much. I think Curtly Bell would be a good bench choice here, says Hanoi. Now Jake Gordon going off to the short side to Tane Edmed. Does clear it. Will be about 25 metres out from the line. Mate, do you know if female referees will be called up for the Super Rugby tournament? Not sure. Not that I know of anyway. I know that we've seen Holly Davidson doing the Six Nations in terms of a touch judge role, or I think she's actually had the refereeing role as well, but yeah, I'm not sure about Super Rugby in terms of what their plans are. But the Wallabies around 2000 didn't just win World Cups, they were consistent too. South Africa aren't consistent, says The Rock. And also Bill's still playing, isn't he? Like 40, he played club rugby this weekend. They were showing some of the highlights before. That is going to be the penalty again to the Blues. We are 50 minutes through. Still just the one try. Christie considered taking it quickly, unlike that scrum where they did lose the ball. Haha, jokes. There's not been a lot happening in this first 50 minutes in terms of try-scoring opportunities. It looks like they're gonna kick for the posts, or they're kicking for the corner here. It looks like they're going for the corner again, the Blues. They want another try. That one's gone into touch. Congrats to Curtly Bill. I'm beating his false allegation. And I was old Princess, be happy 4 weeks of cringe moments right there, eh? Alien Buktufto. Says Blues Nate. But now Stephen Petafetta. Ready to take this kick. Just feels like Bill's been around since the 2000s. Like 2007. He must be getting on. Yeah, he's about 38 or something, I think, Curtly Bill, or somewhere around there. Harry Plummer, he's been on the field pretty much this whole game. And yeah, I agree, after that final sparks with the ABs, though. We can't do it without his stars. And alright, guys, who are you supporting? So, I think a lot of people are going for the Blues, but then there's also a few New Zealand supporters going for the Tars so that the Blues don't do as well. Seems to be kind of like the self-sabotage type scenario for certain sides. So, we'll see how it goes. Currently, though, the Blues, they are having the better second half. Joey Walton hits that one straight up. I feel like Ireland is going to pummel, or going to plummet. The team's going to get old. They had their best chance to win the World Cup last year and they failed. Says LKK. And yeah, there are going to be sides such as Wales who are extremely young now, who hopefully do better as they move forward. And I mean, they've had a decent Six Nations, even though they've lost all their games. I still feel like they've been a little bit competitive. Going for the Waratahs then, says 7-9 there. And the Blues are playing, or trying to lose this game, says Pete. Yeah, they haven't really looked like, well, they've looked a little bit similar to their game last week up against the Canes, but that was not them at their best at all. Oh yeah, awkward landing there. Knock on advantage. Here comes Mark Nwanga Netawasi lined up and taken down by Lachlan McWannell. Do you mind Warriors updates on here, mate? We love you, man. No worries at all, Nazi. Are they still 18-10 down? And hey, I hope you are well, says Bedza to Simran. And France are going to be early favourites in squad depth, quality and experienced players. And the spine positions convey a bout of World Rugby Under-20 Championship winners. And 18-10 to the Storm right now. Now Stephen Pitafetta, they've got this ball back, finds the pass on the outside to Bryce Heem. One of the first times we've actually seen him touch the ball throughout this game. And it's just going to pull up in the in-goal area. Edmed does force it down. So it will be now a goal line dropout. The Warriors still have 30 minutes to come back. Next World Cup is around a 16, says the reviewer. To Saxy for my shirt. Searching for my shirt, says Blues Note. And still no more score this game, making me go to sleep, says Bads Ablaze. Yeah, it's been a low-scoring one, that is for sure, between these two sides. Not what anyone really anticipated, I don't think. But, yeah, not ideal. Segner kicks it downfield, and France have more money than all the Southern Hemisphere teams combined. France should always be strong. Says a moose. How many teams in the next World Cup? I think they're going for 32, if I'm correct, rather than the 24. But we'll wait and see whether or not that is something that does happen. Here comes Zahn Sullivan. Look for the offload to Clark. Gets dragged down by his jersey. Close to the touchline. Hey guys, I hope you're both well. Just finished counting some cash and my mind is numb. Not made for looking after cash. Now Mark Talia trying to go through. There's got to be a try. Knock on from Christie. They're going back for the original penalty advantage to the Blues. This whole game feels like it's been played under penalty advantage. We should talk about the Six Nations when it's never. Says Yikes. And of course, we've got 3 games of the Six Nations coming up, ladies and gentlemen, later on tonight. First of which going to be taking place at 3:10. That is going to be 3:10 a.m. And that will be the matchup taking place for the last round of the Six Nations. Also, Ireland versus Scotland at 5:45. And then 9 a.m. there is the matchup between France and England. What would a lazy tenner get me? Says a Marco. How much cash? Says Hanoi. I don't drink any more or any less. Says a Nathan Smith. 55 minutes through, and the Blues now are taking on the 3 points. It's only 4 points in it now. The Warriors have scored. Says Mus. Pitafetta lining this one up. England will get better. They have a good young side in Wales too, but it's a World Cup cycle early for them. Says LKK. Had 2 attempts so far tonight. Stephen Pitafetta has missed one, but he got the other. Come on, the Warriors, says Hanoi. Stephen Pitafetta lining up this kick. It's gone away to the right. So the score will remain at 7 points to 3. And England to win Six Nations, beat France and Scotland. Beat the so-called best team in the world. Says Marco and up the wires. And a lot, it's for the university club. I'm not made for math, that's why I study law. And tugging my by that time, says Yikes. And 3-7 baseball score. Yeah, at the moment, it's not exactly a huge amount of points on the board. New Zealand will be good this year. A lot of development has taken place in the last 2 years. And England and 20 gave the French a good beating in France last night. Now Caleb Clark trying to go through. We need another try soon. Christie sells the dummy, doesn't go on the outside. Hamish fried his brain, says Naz Williams. Yeah, memory is not great. At the moment, Talia trying to go through. 20 metres out for the Blues here, away from home. They want to put on a performance. They haven't been able to do that as of yet throughout the first 57 minutes. Just the 1 try scored for Ofa Tuangafasi. And 7-3 Flibenek almost stripped away by the Tars, but the Blues keep the ball. And here comes Oskins at 2-2. 2 metres out, almost a turnover for Jake Gordon. Going short side. Oh, they didn't get it. Mark Nawanganitawasi tried to cut it off. Sullivan scores the try. And they finally got their second of the contest. Is Sullivan better than Sean Stevenson? I think they've both got their own things that they are better at than each other. I'm curious to know which fits better, though, for the mould that Scott Robertson is looking for. Because I think both of them have got the potential of making it into the All Blacks. It's just more of a question. And Mark going for a yellow card. Yeah, to be fair, him diving forward like that, all that's going to happen is a deliberate knockdown penalty try. So I don't know why he did it. Maybe he was trying to slap it back with his fingers. Zahn Sullivan loves a try celebration. They managed to score it and then gets up. I don't know what that celebration means. It looked like he was doing shot put. And while I was very young, we have a bit of hope. I think along with Italy, but I think Scotland are in real trouble youth-wise. Says Fleshen. Sheesh, says Mr. Holden. Now the Blues, that is their second try. "59 minutes through. And Novus, he's shanking them like Beauden Barrett used to. Making the score 12 points to 3. A big miss for Stephen Perifetta. Just said that he needs a new tee, Stephen Perifetta. He needs a new boot because that one's not working. I'm good so far. So you think the Springboks will not be good? Is that me or to someone in the chat? Because I still think they'll be very strong. Even with the changes that they're making, like their young players at the moment are looking very good. And shanking them like Beauden Barrett used to. Hey, yeah, mate, you can say that again, Amish. There's Marco, and the goalposts don't have legs. My bro doesn't move, eh? Back into the pocket, Zahn Sullivan now. Kick this one downfield. Awkward bouncing one. New Zealand hanging in there. Luckily they've got Scott Robinson. Haven't done well in under-20s recently. Doesn't bode well for the future. Says a Nathan Smith, but that ball has been booted into touch by the Tars. Someone in the chat, bro. Says a Joseph. Holloway coming from the field. Amato Siro, I should say, is now out there. Warriors captain off for a head knock. I did see earlier on someone said that they are actually in the lead now. For the Warriors, that was a high tackle from Charlie Gamble and Anton Segner. Looks like it's going to be play on just for now, though. Mark Talia moving to 40 metres out. I mean, if the Blues get a bonus point win in this game, all we will know is it's not really, I guess, like, it doesn't feel like a bonus point win. But then the Tars haven't been able to score, so that's kind of hurt them. The thing is, they only need one more try to be in that position of getting a bonus point for this game. Rush defence there. Jake Gordon was too quick. I was going on the Crusaders. They aren't going well, are they? But, like, I still wouldn't want to play them in playoff rugby. Even if they're struggling now, if they're in that top 8, you still got to keep an eye out for them. We have got there to answer my question. Jokes the man, Amish. And damn, he's one of the best locks in the NRL, says a moose. All right, they're going to take on the shot again here, the Crusaders. The Blues. This is to make the score 15 points to 3. That doesn't really change much for them, though. I don't know about you guys, but if I was the Blues, I'm going for the corner here. But I guess they're trying to find Stephen Perifetta's foot and trying to get him to get one over. Because if he misses it again, that's not going to do any good for his confidence, and he would have preferred them to go for the corner, I would think. I'm not going to go too far with this. And then on the top 8, yeah, but the competition hasn't ended. So, like, that's the thing. Just because a team's in first now doesn't mean they'll be in first at the end. That's what I'm saying. Like they're saying, surely Stephen Perifetta can get this kick over. It is straight out in front from 30 metres out. The crowd are making some noise just to get in his head. How kickable is this penalty? 90% of kickers would get this one over without breaking a sweat. Perifetta has missed it again. He's laughing because he doesn't know what's going wrong, but that is now going to remain at 3 points to 12. They should have gone for the corner. All they're doing is hurting his confidence. Most will disagree. but don't think Tony Brown is good. Appointment for the Springboks, says Nathan Smith. Stephen Petafetta, like they're saying, normally he's an incredible kicker of the ball, but this is not a good game for him at the moment. Come on, the Warriors, 18-18. Nathan, are you mad? Says Joseph Weber. Oh, big run from Akirioani. He's off par tonight. He is, but they shouldn't have made him take another kick. You can train him in a game or train him in training to take those kicks. In this match, though, they should have gone for the corner and tried to get themselves another try so that, like, they would have been in the lead more. We're not perfect, says Anaz Williams. Finley Christie on the halfway line. Going to be put high. In fact, it's going to be put sideways. Caleb Clark has managed to regather it. The Tars are still not out of this game. Blues have put money on New South Wales, says Pete. Anton Segner, 5 metres out, or 5 metres inside of their own half. It's going to be kicked high from Zan Sullivan. Mark Wanganitawasi not able to get it cleanly. Blues asking for the knock-on advantage. Unfortunately, they have knocked it on themselves. So now Charlie Gamble will run forward. Anton Segner looking for the turnover and the breakdown. He has been taken out. Gordon goes off to Hannigan. Space on the outside for the Tars for the first time in this half. Joey Walton trying to go through, but Plummer gets him again. Are we there? Nathan, you don't know rugby. You just watch it, never play it, says Joseph. I mean, he's probably basing it, though, off what Tony Brown did for the Highlanders, which was nothing. But that's not to say he's not a good coach. That was just not the right fit for him. Wanganitawase breaking through. Man on the outside for the court. He's out. He didn't get it in the end. Tristan Riley, not enough speed in the feet. A time will tell, Joseph. And try for the Tars will change the game. And they may have just almost got one, but I believe he was in touch. 22-18. Now for the Warriors, are they in the lead of the Tars and the Wars, says Marco. The lines is cricket, I swear, says Blues Nate. They said that Mark Wanganitawase, yeah, he's in touch clearly for that one. Good wake up for that boot now, says Mr. All-In and Joseph Weber. No disrespect, man. Rassi is an amazing coach. He's probably the greatest rugby coach in history, but I just don't think the Springboks will do it again, says LKK. And up the Warriors, yep, kick to come for the Warriors. Jeez, fighting back. In that game, they've gone into Dutch. It's going to be no try. We'll take Tony Brown, thank you, says Christian. Yeah, like, he's going to be a good option, I believe. Like, in regards of what he's able to do with his coaching mind. It's just, like I said, like, in terms of why I think the other guy was a little bit skeptical is only because of the fact that at the Highlanders it was a bit of a struggle. But what he did for Japan was very impressive. So I think it's going to be fine. I don't think there's any reason that it wouldn't be. Ignored the inside man, no vision marquee, says Hanoi. And also Tony Brown's played for the Durban Sharks back in the days, says Marco. I like the confidence you have for the Crusaders, says the Black Samoan. Like, that's the thing though, like, the Crusaders, at the end of the day, even though they are struggling, they're still the Crusaders. And if they can get a few players back from injury, they'll be in a good position. It's going to be the Blues winning the line out, trying to throw Hannigan across. Could have been a penalty in favour of the Blues there. I remember Tony Brown wearing gloves in Super Rugby, so I tried to copy him when I was in primary school, got the gloves and everything. Says Moose. Now Zan Sullivan will kick that ball into touch. 22 metres out, the Tars have got themselves another line-out opportunity. Are the Waratahs okay? They've been sitting on 3 for a long time. They've been sitting on 3 for almost all day, unfortunately. But they've got a good chance of scoring now. Hopefully. Just to get a little bit more oomph in the remaining time in this game. But at the same time, I know that Stephen Petafetta would take a lot of stick if the Waratahs win this game. So, yeah, it's a hard one. I know they will take it again. I know Rassi myself, he is good. And now Rugby, he will not ask same one to help him. If he don't know, they will make the Springboks better, says Joseph. Won't score, says Bhavani. All available for the Waratahs. I went to school with Tony Brown and know him well, says Nathan Smith. Back across to the left-hand side. Here comes Lockie Swinton. He was my X-Factor player in the second half for the Waratahs in terms of who can add the most impact. Great step from Charlie Gamble. Beatty tries to hold him up, but they do have to release him now. Blues players all over that breakdown. Edmeds drop the ball again. Every time they have a chance here, the Waratahs, they just blow it themselves. And Spate stays horrible. And also big number 8 for the Blues. Says Hanoi. Not like you fellas, you be, or like to be up the tons. And numbers count in South Africa, England and France have numbers and can find themselves, or can find players. The rest of us are limited, says Affiliation. Dirty tackle to ear, nobody there, cheesy, says Blues Nate. 14 minutes remaining. Still down this side. 14 minutes left. Don't forget the money fleshing. Says Moose, looks like Cameron Suafua. He has made his way onto the field for Akira Ioane. We will check the odds. And yep, as expected, Blues, they are favourites. Waratahs are not. $10 underdogs at the moment, the Waratahs. Look at their knock-on, Storm Yay. Says Hanoi, how long's left in that game, Hanoi? Do you let me know? And Blues 9 and 10. Long lost cousins, I should say. Joseph, I agree, but I think they'll do good 2027. Australia will never win a World Cup now for 10 years. 10 years isn't too bad, though, because that's only 2 World Cups, isn't it? Theoretically. After that, you're saying they will, Joseph? And at NAS, we are winning 12 points to 18, 22 points to 18. And tons of young talent doing the round. 2027 World Cup will be huge. Yeah, there's a lot of guys who are in that 18 to 23 range at the moment. And even some of those younger guys that will be definitely up for contention. Way too early to call World Cup 2027. But I'd be surprised if South Africa make the final. Says Nathan Smith. And yes, then they will be better, says Joseph. And also we've got there 5:45. Says Hanoi. Is that for what time the game between Scotland and Ireland is taking place? Because if that is, then yes it is. Oh no, that's 5:45 in the afternoon though. Up the Waratahs and females who wear big size bras, says Marco. And also happy St. Paddy's Days for tomorrow, guys. I'm going to be tired since people will be doing 6 before 6. What's 6 before 6? Is that like 6 beverages before 6 a.m. or something? And 17 minutes remain, for the Storm Warriors. We've got currently 13 minutes remaining in this one. Got another scrum feed. Blues still only 5 metres out from their line. Tom Ross also now out onto the park. Scott Robertson is a man. I like him as a coach. It's going to be important that these replacement front rows get the job done. Ta'aval, Fusitua, Ross and Bell and Ireland and France blew their best chance. Says The Rock. Oh, yeah, 6 drinks before 6 a.m. That sounds like hard work. I mean, we're going to be doing 3 more live streams before the end of the morning, but it's probably still slightly easier than trying to drink that much before midday. And this ref could have made the game better, eh, Hamish? Says Mr. All-In. I think that these sides could have made the game better. They've had a lot of handling errors and a lot of penalties against them. Darren Sullivan, that's a forward pass. That'll be, once again, another bit of ball for the Tars. They already had the penalty advantage, in fact, sorry. So the Blues, they will kick this one downfield. Angus Butterfingers Ta'aval, which Tier 1 teams have failed to make it out of their World Cup pools. England, Italy, Australia, Wales, and Scotland, says Moose. That's what I used to tell my ex-missus. You've been told to use it. 11 minutes remaining. Peter Feta going to be kicking this one into touch. Michael Hooper saying it's been a very stop-start, weird second half. I think he's bored in the commentary box. That's why she... bad, says Nuz Williams, I think that is. Now line-out throw for the Blues. I throw my weight behind the Brits to beat France tomorrow, Hammy. I think the top for 2027 would be France, New Zealand, Ireland, South Africa. And don't write off England. Ball's available now for the Blues. Back into the pocket to Stephen Pitafetta. Who stride jokes my bad, says no. Oh, sorry, says Nuz. And Scott on the way up, and he should have retired after the World Cup, says Nathan Smith. Now Jake Gordon goes across to the right-hand side. Oh, sorry, that is left to Heaven. It's got to be a try soon, doesn't there? Jake Gordon going across again now to the bigger replacement. Came onto the field, I believe, for Jed Holloway. Now Tane Edmund passes out wide. Good fend coming in from Dylan Riley. A turnover, boys, says Blues Nate. 45 metres out the line, Angus Bell. And Kiwi lads, I do not like Ian coaching the All Blacks. He made their team boring, says LKK. Now to the left-hand side, step from Joey Walton. Shut down by Josh Beatty, one of the younger players on the field, but he's actually been one of the standouts throughout this one. Tutu told not to use it. We're into the last 10 minutes of this game that's felt like an eternity between these two sides. Angus Bell goes off to Tane Edmund. Hugh Sinclair. Cross again to Charlie Gamble. Couldn't get a pass away though. Tackle in, boys. Now the big man, Tom Ross. I believe he was a Brumby last year. If I am correct, Angus Bell. 11 phases in. Gordon goes back to Tane Edmund. Mark Nwanganitawasi tries the grubber in behind. Tristan Riley. Oh, Pitafetta has to bump it into touch. 5 metres out from the line now, and the Tars are in a prime position to be able to get themselves what could be their first try of the contest. They have to get it right here, though. If they don't, then it's done. If they get it right, maybe. They've got half a shot. What's your comment on Kenny Aholo's performance? Says the Big Samoa. He was a little bit more quiet in that game up against the Crusaders, but still has that power. His game up against the Blues, breaking through about 6 tackles to get the ball away to Riley Higgins. He is definitely a powerhouse. Right. They're just talking about the changes that they're going to be making here for the Waratahs. I see that Grant is now on the field. That is for Jake Gordon. Nicely taken by Ned Hannigan, and the rolling maul for the Tars. Starting to move just that little bit further forward. They pulled off the win up against the Crusaders. Another New Zealand side. Can they go up the middle and get themselves a try here? Ball is available for Grant, but it's nicely secured. And that's going to be the scrum feed for the Blues. That is absolutely fantastic work from Soani Vakina. Got his hands on it. They weren't able to get it out quick enough. Why are we lucky you are you mud man? Says Joseph. Well, Saki Naholo was outstanding, says Blues Nate. And also we have got there on your lads, good defence. Now 8 minutes remaining, or just under now. Where does Sam Cane fit in the New Zealand team? Running drinks, probably. I don't know whether or not he'll keep that 7 spot under Razor, because I think they'll be looking more towards the future rather than current. I think that they'll want to make sure that they've got the young guys getting good opportunities. Someone like a Dalton Papali'i probably could get himself that spot as the 6. But we'll see. They've just said infuriating for the coach. Just little mistakes being made back to back to back. Oh, we will go like this and like that. There we go. I think Peter says LKK. And also, so New Zealand is who? And also, Flesh Name English and French rugby. Says a muss. Yeah, Hoskins the dude grabbing that leg. Not allowed to do that. Another scrum coming here. And this game is a bit meh compared to Chiefs vs. Gorilla. This game has been very meh overall. Like, there's been slight moments, But I'll be honest, it's felt like a 2-hour and about 30-minute game in between these sides. So hopefully something changes soon. We see either one more, like that's the thing. The Blues, if they get one more try, they get a bonus point. They'll get 5. That's the penalty to the Tahs, though. They haven't given up as of yet. And every time it seems like they should be out of it, the Blues give them half a chance to get back inside of the door. They might consider 3. No, they won't consider 3, will they? In this case, I don't think they can. Gonna have the first line out now of the match. Yeah, good luck. Says Mr. All-In. They are currently down by 9. Chance for the Tahs. This line out needs to be good though, because if it's not, they're not good. Back I left this game was boring. Rather watch the Wars play, and they must be still in the lead, I think. Oh yeah, stolen by the Blues. Sawani Vakina gets it off to Anton Segner. Now 15 metres from their own line here, the Blues with only 5 minutes left on the clock. The Tahs needed that. It hasn't worked out, but they have now got themselves a counter-attacking chance. Marks no Ananita Wasi, whose name I said wrong, but I got a bit excited. The ball is out the back. Chance on the short side. Grant with the ball on the inside to Isaiah Parisi. They are 22 metres from the line now. Here come the Waratahs. Chance here. Grant, ball on the inside to Mark Nawanganita Wasi. You wonder how many points the Tahs could have been on if they had been taking 3s rather than going for the 7, but they need at least one try at some point to get themselves the win. Charlie Gamble thought about going on the outside, then decides he wants to use his leg strength. Mark Delia's tackle rode up a little bit high. Short ball, good shot in the midsection. Hanging on to this ball well here, the Waratahs. Fonokalafi, man off the bench. He looks like he might be in a bit of discomfort at the moment. Edmure with the inside ball to Angus Bell. Losing the footing there, the Blues number 19. He is boring as. Now past our white to Charlie Gamble. Tries to keep the ball in play, and it is in play. Didn't go out. Now good job. That wasn't a word. But, yeah, good shot is what I was trying to say. Close to a drop ball again. Blues are defending extremely well here. Hugh Grant has to flick that one up to Angus Bell. There's just no gaps at the moment in this defensive line. Tane Edmed fires it in behind to Joey Walton. Can the Tahs get through? At the moment, the answer is no. Pass on the outside. Now Tristan Riley has to cut back inwards. Great fend there. Still going Dylan Riley. Oh, sorry, Tristan Riley, I should say. Now Isaiah Parisi round the side of the breakdown. The ball is loose. That was not a knock on from Lockie Swinton. So it's going to be a play on, and it's an advantage in favour of the Waratahs. They've got 3 minutes now. It would just be nice to see something from one of these sides. Now Tane Edmed tries the chip and chase. Chases after it. Pitafetta is there. So they'll go back for the original penalty once more. Looks like Tristan Riley's thinking about taking the quick tap and go here. They're running out of time. The Tahs have been left tryless throughout this first 77 minutes of the contest. They just can't get through at this point. Hard out. Says Mr. All in the morning, says a moose. They're going to take on the 3 points here, the Tahs. Nope, they've kicked it for the corner again. Artia scores for the Blues, wrong team. Says Blues Nate. I want to see DWZ get a hat trick. Says Beds Ablaze. Be thrown in. Nicely taken by the Waratahs. Rolling maul looks good. Blues trying to shut it down. Ta'aval. I don't think he's going to be able to stop it. They've got the tries, the Waratahs, and they have now got 90 seconds to try and turn this game around. This is interesting at the moment, the way that it sits. Anton Senna can bring some of your girl cousins over to New Zealand, please, Oos. Yeah, Malo, says Marco there. The Waratahs, just like that. See how it goes. How far are the Warriors in the lead by, ladies and gents, at the moment? Are they like, they're doing good, they're going to win that game, or are Melbourne going to fire back? It's a hard kick for Tane Edmed. For a misconversion, although the misconversion, that would mean that they need another try, whereas if this goes over, they'll only need a 3-pointer to get back in and win this contest. And Edmed gets it over. Now going to make the score with 50 seconds remaining. 10 points to 12. It seems like a little bit of too little too late here. We're inside of the final minute in the contest now. Not a lot of time to work with. Yeah, the Waratahs are going to win unless something crazy happens. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have waited 80 minutes for this game to get juicy and interesting. And we're now here with 20 seconds remaining. The Blues will kick this one off. They've decided to go long. And the Tars will have to make 90 metres. They cannot afford to kick this ball away. They also can't afford to drop it at this point of the match. 9 seconds remaining. I thought for a second they were going to try and kick that one. Great leg strength from Ned Hannigan. Now back across again. Got to attack and run. And Singh, the penalty to the Blues for rolling the wrong way. She's done and dusted, ladies and gents. And the Blues will win this game. They will take the quick tap. They will boot it into touch. And that will be the end of the game. Can Edmed redeem himself after the winning penalty or with a winning penalty? No. No, they've lost their chance. Do they want a shot? No, think about it. Think about it. They're going to take the tap, kick it into touch. See, if they had taken the shot and Petafeta had hit the post like he did in the game up against the Hurricanes, then the Tars still would have had a chance. But they put it into touch. 12 points to 10 in the end. The Blues victorious. W for the crowd. Sad for us at home, says Mr. All-In. And 3 minutes left in the Storm. Have to score twice, go the Warriors. Says Amos. And there as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. It is greatly appreciated you being here for this contest. And yeah, it's an interesting one. That is for sure. But nonetheless, thank you all. Oh, did the Warriors just conceded? I just see. That's not good. Still time left on the clock. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. The next 3 live streams that we have got is Six Nations, 3 in a row, taking place back to back to back. The first of which at 3:15 a.m. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Stay till the end for the Waratahs. One moment, we will go to the other channel. That's not it. Where are the Waratahs playing? Are they on like Sky 4? Cowboys and the Knights apparently is on at the moment. Where are the Warriors playing? Sky Sport 5? No. Sky Sport 6? No. Where are the Warriors on? Do let me know. And thank you, Hamish. There's Christian. No worries at all. Oh, here we go. We found it. Sky Sport 4 it was, in fact. And we'll go like that. Yeah, they've only got 2.5 minutes remaining, though, in that contest. But we will cover the final little moment. Are you going to stream any other game? We've got 3 more in a row. Six Nations is the next one that has taken place, ladies and gents. So if you are new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Oh, they're just talking about a 2-point field goal that could be an option. Kick has gone over. 2 minutes to go. Is this your first live stream post that Black Cats vs Australia test? No, we've done about probably 4. No, maybe 2 or 3 since then. Like this is the 3rd one anyway. So we've had plenty on since that. Stream the Waratahs, 2 minutes left for us. So currently, ladies and gentlemen, anyone who is confused, the Warriors are currently playing up against the Melbourne Storm. Streaming Super Rugby and the NRL. What a legend. There isn't much Hamish can't do. He's the man, says Macho. And as well, so it is going to be kicked off by the Warriors. In deep into Melbourne Storm territory. I mean, I could tell you who all the players are, but I assume the ones who are watching it know who they are in that regard. I saw that the last try was scored by Ryan Pappenhausen. Of course, is a player to watch out for. Thanks for the love of rugby, bro. You do a good job. Says Joseph. And also 26, 24, the Warriors to the Storm, 2 minutes left. Currently, the Melbourne Storm are in possession. 90 seconds left on the clock. He was looking for the next offload. Used up the 3 tackles already inside of their own area. Oh, the wide cut-out pass. Starting to find a bit of space. They've got a chance for a field goal to take it to extra time. And boy, they have made a lot of ground there for the Melbourne Storm. They're inside of the half, 40 metres out for the Warriors. They have to try and shut this down. Backline's looking good though. Passed out wide. Missed tackle. Coates gets taken down. Right there, 5th and final. They've got a chance at a field goal. Do they go for it though? Yes, he does. He took too long. It's hit a Warriors player though, so they've got 6 more. And they've got a counter-attack for the Melbourne Storm. Pappenhausen ball on the inside. 40 seconds remaining, and they have got first. Around the side of the breakdown. They're 18 metres from the line here for the Melbourne Storm. Little bit of late excitement. Jerome Hughes ball on the outside. Here they go. The Melbourne Storm for the corner. He might have just scored it. Xavier Coates just flew like Superman. And that may just have been the last try. It is the try for the Storm. Why did I have to cover that? They'll check it. But he's just jumped like 5 metres in the air. That's an exaggeration. Like at least 2 or 3 metres he has leapt and just glided to put that ball down. They're going to check it. The Warriors heartbreak again. Like I said, last 10 minutes normally determines it. Oh. Now, I can't be blamed as the jinx because they already scored before I went. Did he get it down? They're just checking it now. But has a crack at the line. Jumps. He's a good 4 metres. He has had to travel there. This is looking likely. It's a try. That's a try. What a bloody finish. What game are you going to? They wanted to see the last moments of Warriors versus Melbourne Storm, and I believe we're about to see. Wait a minute. The other hand. It might be simultaneous. If his other hand has touched the ground first, that's going to be a no try. It looked very close. We're waiting to hear the confirmation. You jinxed it. Hey, you asked for it, Paddy. You wanted me to cover the last couple of moments. We could have just gone on our way. But yeah, it sounds like it is the try. Yeah. And what a horrible end to an epic fight back by the Warriors, says Moose. Yeah. You can't write it, that's for sure. But the Blues won 12 points to 10. I got more... No, can I say that? I'm going to say it. I got more excitement from that last 3 minutes that we watched of the Warriors Melbourne than we saw throughout that whole Blues versus Waratahs game. There was just not quite the oomph that we were looking for when those two sides went head-to-head. But the Blues got the win, which is what they needed. I just want to see his other hand here, Xavier Coates. Yeah, he gets it down first. Ball just beforehand, and Melbourne win it. And they are celebrating it big time, ladies and gents. So the next one that we have got, ladies and gents, that is taking place, it is going to be the matchup between Italy and Wales. The kick has gone over just to add good measure, and the Melbourne Storm win at 30 points to 26. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. About 4 hours away from that next live stream, a little bit under. So if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one.